In our previous video on motivation, we discussed the how-tos of goals and motivation. It is now time to touch on the number one motivational killer, procrastination. But before we do, I do want to welcome you back to Mind Life Weekly, where we talk about simple psychology for everyday life. Today, we'll be going through the 4 most common reasons of procrastination. Let's dive in and discuss further. So procrastination is the main reason why goals remain goals. The irony of procrastination is that once a person understands it and it's working, it is relatively simple to eradicate it for good. This video series on motivation hopes to comprehend it further. By doing so, it will also present ways on how to achieve and maintain maximum motivation. So, procrastination, what exactly is it? Are you a procrastinator? Do you tend to put things off until the last minute? Do you work best under the pressure of a fast-approaching deadline, or would you rather finish tasks ahead of time? In a nutshell, procrastination is putting off things that one should be focusing on right at that particular moment, in favor of doing something that is more enjoyable, more interesting, or more comfortable. According to psychologist Professor Clary Lay, a prominent writer on procrastination, procrastination occurs when there's a temporal gap between intended behavior and enacted behavior. Simply put, procrastination happens when there's a significant time period between when people intend to begin a job and when they actually start doing it. The truth is that everyone procrastinates. However, some do it more often than others and may procrastinate on big and important things. Unfortunately, when this happens, it becomes a big deal and leads to people regretting their decisions and thinking about the what-ifs and should-haves. In one study, researchers found that 20% of people chronically avoid difficult tasks and deliberately look for distractions, which, unfortunately, are increasingly available with the emergence of technology and social media. Procrastination, as a whole, is a reflection of a person's perennial struggle with self-control and their inability to accurately predict how they will feel the next day. Most procrastinators claim that they perform better under pressure, but more often than not, that's their way of justifying putting things off. There are many possible causes for procrastination. But here are the 4 most common reasons. Number 1. No clear priorities. One of the primary reasons why people procrastinate, believe it or not, is simply because they do not know what is more important. They do not know their own priorities. Each day, a person is faced with numerous different tasks that need to be completed. Some of them are crucial, others may be important but not vital, and some are smaller, trivial matters that aren't as important. Classifying each task and knowing which task to prioritize is a necessary skill to master to get things done in a timely manner. Procrastination usually occurs when an individual fails to learn how to sort out their different tasks according to their priorities. This is a consequence of not having a good action goal and a definite plan. The ability to jump in with both feet and start doing things is fantastic. It is one of the most important elements in getting stuff done. Having a plan and building up momentum is imperative to staying committed and taking action to beat procrastination. If there is no proper action plan, a person may end up doing something only to later realize that they started the wrong task and thus, their effort would not contribute to them achieving their goals. It's also possible that they may not know what to do or where to start at all simply because they have neither a well-set action plan nor clear priorities. Number 2. No definite action plans or specific goals. When faced with 2 tasks, the mind is tempted to pick the task that requires less effort. Between writing a book on a topic you have no knowledge on and writing an email to ask a simple question, which task would you choose to do first? Most people would rather disregard the harder task with an unclear direction, writing the book, in favor for an easier one, writing the email. That's simply how the mind works. It's easily distracted when things are unclear and would rather do something that requires less power to process and make sense of. In this situation, having a proper action plan and a clear goal would be advantageous. The plan and goal would help them set out a path and would ensure that they actually get things done. Here's a general rule: if at any point you are not quite sure what you should do, rather than spend hours torturing yourself, it is better to sit down and figure out what the next step should be. Think about your best action plan and rethink your goals. To learn more on how to do this, watch the videos in our playlist titled The Flawless Future. It's a useful and fun series that explains how to create action plans and goals in detail. To reiterate, the most important thing is having a definite action plan and a specific goal and sticking to them. Doing so will make things much easier, making it less likely that you will turn to procrastination. Number 3. Feeling overwhelmed. Thoughts like, "It seems like such a huge thing to do," or "How am I ever going to get it done?" would surely set off any person from following through with their goals. Picture a person who's been lost in the jungle for weeks. They've run out of food and are desperately looking for their next meal. Then suddenly they come across an abandoned campfire with a full deer being roasted. They're thinking of eating the whole meal, but find themselves overwhelmed with the huge portion. They mutter to themselves, "How the hell am I going to eat all this meat?" The answer, of course, is very simple: they start with one chunk at a time. It is the same with goals, a person realizes them one chunk at a time. We will discuss these feelings of being overwhelmed and how to overcome them in a future video. Number 4. Not being in the mood. A dull mood is clearly a motivational issue. Sometimes, no matter how motivating the goal is, there just comes a time when one really does not feel like doing it. Let us take an example of something that a lot of people dream of doing, but very few people ever do: writing a book. It does not matter whether it's a full-length novel or an ebook, many people have dreamed of writing at least one book in their lifetime. However, they find so many reasons each day on why they shouldn't write or why they should delay writing. There are times when, even if a person has started with their book, they get sidetracked along the way and are unable to continue. They may just wake up one day and not be in the mood to write. Then, as the days go on, they begin to realize just how much time they've wasted waiting for their mood to change before writing their book. Letting your mood dictate your actions and decisions is a grave mistake. While it's true that being in the right mood for things can really enhance one's performance, it should not be the basis on how you decide how things should be done or how they should act. Sometimes, one just needs to start the task in order to get in the mood. There is also a lot that could be said about immersion. In other words, if a person is committed to write a book, they should just write and keep on writing, especially when they do not want to write. This kind of attitude sends a signal to the brain saying, "Hey, this stuff is important." The mind then understands that the task is too important to brush off just because of a sudden lack of interest, thus making it easier to continue working towards completing it. Conclusion. That being said, this video is not trying to force anyone to push themselves to the point of mental breakdown. Take a break if you must. However, if a person has a goal, then they must stick to the action plan, no matter how they may feel in the moment. Emotions are fleeting, hence they should not be the basis of one's actions, decisions, and behavior. In order not to fall into the trap of giving into one's mood, you must have the discipline to do your tasks, even if just a small part of it, no matter what mood you are in. It's possible by just starting the process, you may find yourself enjoying it and wanting to complete it. If not, then at least you will be able to develop the habit of getting things done, no matter how small it may be. Keep in mind that getting a small thing done each day is better than achieving nothing at all. Okay, that's about it from me. Mind Life Weekly will continue to have many more discussions on motivation and procrastination. So, stay tuned for our next fascinating video. As always, thank you for watching. If you learned something from this video, show us your appreciation by tapping the like button on your way out. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay informed when our next video is out. Thank you for listening, and take great care.